Hey everybody, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 5, finding absolute value and adding real numbers. So let's dive right in. All right, so your vocabulary, absolute value. It's the distance from the number to 0 on a number line. So from whatever number it is to 0, it's how many hops it is away, how far away it is on a number line. So let's find the absolute value. So absolute value is indicated by these straight bars. I call them the goalposts. Touchdown, whatever. Got to relate it to something, right? They're straight. So the absolute value of 0. Well, how far away is 0 from 0? 0, isn't it? It's no hops away. All right. How about the absolute value of 7.12? It's 7.12 hops away. So the absolute value is. Now, absolute value is also a symbol of inclusion. Couldn't think of that word for a minute, a symbol of inclusion. So that means we had to follow the order of operations inside of the absolute value. So we've got 1 whole minus 3/4. We know we turn that whole into a fraction that equals 1, 4/4, and then 4 minus 3 is 1/4. Now, of course, we do the math here. 11 minus 2 is 9. But we have, okay, now stop. Thank you. We have this negative on the outside of the absolute value. So we just apply it afterwards. Now, what if you had the absolute value of -3? How many hops is -3 from 0 on the number line? It's 3 hops, isn't it? Because remember, we can only count the quantity of something in positive numbers. So if we start at -3 and we count how many hops it is from 0 on the number line, it's going to be 3 hops. So it's that positive quantity that we're looking for. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers or integers. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to model this. We're going to show how this works. And then we're going to learn the tricks that go with this so we don't have to model it. But you can always model it if you're stuck. So this problem says we have 5 negatives, -5, 5 negatives, plus 3 positives. Now, I want you to know a negative and a positive, they cancel each other out. So they go away. How many are we left with? We're left with -2, aren't we? All right. Let's look at some more. Let's model these. We're going to find the sum modeling these. So we have on the first one, I'm going to write it. The first one, we have 4 positives. And then we have 3 negatives. And remember, these guys cancel each other out. So what are we left with? We're left with +1, right? +1 is our answer. Now let's look at this one. We've got 2 negatives and 6 negatives. Does anything cancel each other out? Are there any opposites there? No, so we have only negatives. So we're going to just add those together, and that gives us 8 negatives, -8. All right, let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it doesn't matter if you put negatives on top or bottom. It doesn't matter. We just need to write them, right? Look at this. They cancel each other out the whole way. So our answer is 0. Oops, all right. So now the sum of, I want you to think about this. Oh, that was supposed to be It's supposed to have a letter beside it, and it does not. It should be E. This should be F. This should be G. Oops. All right. The sum of two positive numbers is always positive. So think of this. If I add a positive number to a positive number, is my answer. Is that true? Yes. All right. The sum of two negative numbers is always negative. Negative plus negative equals a negative. And we should write that as true, not negative. Oops. All right. The sum of a positive and a negative is always negative. Well, what if I have 6 positive, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 negative, and I'm adding them together? What am I going to get? So, let's see, 6 plus negative 2. What does it equal? It equals 4. So this is false. You just have to have more positives than negatives. All right. Rules for adding real numbers. That's what we're adding is real numbers, positive negatives, negative numbers. All right. So like sign, plus, positive plus positive or negative plus negatives, you're going to add and keep the sign. Opposite signs, you're going to subtract and take the sign of the higher absolute value. Now, you're just going to hear me shorten that to say subtract and take the sign of the higher. But positive plus positive or negative plus negatives, you add and keep the sign. So like signs, add and keep the signs. Opposite signs, subtract and take the sign of the higher. So look at this. Like signs are opposite. They're opposite. So we know we're going to subtract. But what is higher? My answer is going to be negative or positive? My answer is going to be positive, isn't it? I'm going to do 21 minus 12, right? Everybody agree with that? So 12, so 20 minus 12 is 8. So 21 minus 12 is 9. And it's positive because it's a sign of that. All right, what kind of signs are these? They're like. So the answer is going to be negative. So 19 plus 8. 8 plus 9 is 7. Carry my 1 is 27. All right. So what are these? They're opposites, right? So what has the greater? This or this, which is bigger? The negative, isn't it? So my answer is going to be negative. And then we're going to subtract, okay? So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do 5.1 minus 3.2. 11 minus 2 is 9. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1.9. Like signs. So we're going to add and keep the sign. So 3 plus 1 is 4. All right. So true or false? Give a counterexample if it is false. The set of integers is closed under addition. So think about this. Remember, for it to have closure, it has to mean that if I add an integer to an integer, I'm going to get an integer. Is that true? Of course it is. It's true. All right. The set of real numbers is closed under addition. If I add a real number to a real number, am I going to get a real number? Yes, I am. All right. On the first down, the Cougars lost 4 yards. They gained 7 yards on the second down. Use addition to find the total number of yards lost or gained on the first down. So they lost 4 yards. We're going to show lost by a negative. And then they gained 7 yards. So opposite signs. We're going to subtract and take the sign of the higher absolute value, which is it. So 7 minus 4 is 3. So 7. -4 plus 7. Sorry. All right. Well, I hope this helped. I hope you got what you needed. If not, please make sure you reach out to me. Have a great one. Bye.